What's going on out there, good humans? Hope everybody woke up feeling blessed and grateful. I know I did. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you at in the world. Welcome to another episode of the Humans with Brains podcast. I'm your host, Opulent Six, and these are my co-hosts, Jennifer and Leah Nika.
Hi, guys.
And as always, this is a dummy-free zone, so don't get over here saying no stupid shit. So before we get started, who got gripe? Who got some gripe? Want to get off your chest? You go first.
Well, no, she wanted to.
Well, yeah, I can see the way you sitting and you want to get yours out.
I don't have anything right now that I can
Nothing?
think of at the moment.
Are you
At
sure?
the moment.
Jen, what's your gripe?
That people are still debating dating.
Oh, I mean,
Can we get some context?
yeah. So, I just swipe past some stuff, and I really see people really being like, men should do this, women should do this. Blah, blah. It's just a lot of, I guess it's the gender war still going on, but I don't get why the sexes are just so mad at each other. It's so sad.
I think
And
we're all just jaded.
yeah, and it's like, I didn't put on any makeup today, so
You look great.
I rushed here. I overslept for good reason.
Oh, you brought your makeup back.
And I didn't even get to it.
It's
yeah.
okay. You look
It's
fine.
okay,
You
you
look
look
amazing.
fine.
The skin is skinning.
I'm not mad. I'm just trying to do what I got to do. My birthday just passed a couple
Happy birthday.
days
Happy
ago.
birthday,
And
Mine's
you
in
know
2
what?
days.
I'm going to just embrace being 44.
Where?
44, girl.
You don't look.
In this neck. I feel it in my neck.
Brace it.
I lost 20 pounds, but the neck is still...
Okay.
Like,
The
get
neck a
get in
part of that
order.
lad. The next 20.
Shut up. You're
What?
stupid.
What'd you say?
The neck is a part of the next 20. You got to do 20 more for that
20
part to
more
fall
for this
off.
part?
Yeah. that
Because
part
this
to
gets
fall
on my
off.
nerve. Like, where did this little line come
You got
from?
20
I
more,
never
baby. Hang it
had
there.
Just slap a bunch of moisturizer on
extra
there.
neck before.
Oh,
like,
funny.
I'm really griping about this extra neck. Can we not?
Chris Jenner had a
Wear
facelift.
wear turtlenecks.
I tried, but it's getting hot out there. It's summertime. I can't wear turtlenecks all summer.
Do the
Can I get
what's that neck exercise? I forget the name of it. The neck exercise.
Oh, when they be like this.
No. Go like this. No, wait. Yeah, go like this.
Uh-huh.
Then go like this.
Uh-huh.
Now do it fast.
Six, what is your gripe for the week? What is
See
happening
that? See
right
what
now?
she doing? Now watch this. You want some of this pie? Do the exercise.
You know what? Oh,
You want some macaroni and cheese?
My God.
Look.
And
boom.
you really fell for
You do
it.
that exercise right there, and I bet you lose that neck.
And what's
Right
your,
there.
What's your gripe?
Let's try it. Let's
I need
try
to
it.
do some-
Would you like some nachos? Boom.
Ask
Losing
me.
weight already.
Ask
Can I
me.
lipo
would-
Can I lipo my neck?
Yeah, you're gonna look like a sucked up raisin in the neck.
What?
Head big, neck.
How are you
neck
a
look like
raisin?
a toothpick.
How are you a raisin and you look sucked up even more? Like,
Right.
Y'all
That's so
tripping.
rude.
Let's get to that. Hold on, let me get my gripe real quick for the sake of brevity so we can get into the topic.
Okay.
We did, I forgot what episode it was, but I said that men should know how to change a tire.
oh my
Oh,
God, yes. So
yeah.
I heard you were
Like-
ruffling feathers on your comment.
I did not know that will ruffle, like, dudes was getting upset, like, hey, man.
Because you made them feel as if they're not man enough just because.
You're not.
instead of getting mad,
How?
wait, but instead of getting mad and saying something asinine or hubris, how about you audit yourself and say, yeah, I should know how. Now, not knowing how and not wanting to is two different things. Y'all don't
Correct.
even know how.
Right.
So what about you will make a woman like you?
Mm.
You're not, you don't have a dynamic personality. You're not a high earner.
Mm.
You don't have a marvelous physique. You don't have a magnificent mind.
Mm.
All she can like you for is your money.
Mm.
You don't do manly things. What is what is the attraction lure? You get what I'm saying? They're like, oh, she only want me for my money.
Personality.
But they went in on me because you can't change a tire. First of all, changing a tire is the adult emotional equivalent to your teacher asking you to read out loud in front of the class.
You can't do it.
Well,
These dudes had they drawers in a bunch. Like the teacher, when the kids that couldn't read, when the teacher say read out loud, they throw a book, start acting crazy.
can I call
Fake
can I call
outrage.
your fans out though? These are the same ones
Mm.
when I call your fans low key like the toxic masculine people.
Mm.
Some of them. Because when he's calling out women and holding women accountable, right? They're all like, yeah, like, oh, she don't like them because she don't like the ones that dirty their nails, whatever. But then when he calls them out, now it's a problem.
They switching sides.
But don't that show you that I'm fair and just?
No,
And I'm just
you are, but that's why I'm calling them out. That's why I'm calling them out. Like, you guys were all gung-ho. Yeah, Six is saying the right stuff.
The men that
He
behave, right?
He's cooking. But then now
I
that
done
you're
closed the refrigerator.
Yeah.
but then when you're calling them out, all of a sudden,
but
You're not cooking no more.
I want to indict them type of men that do that, because you're not even the type of male that I'm trying to reach, because you avoid accountability. I believe that men should be men and be sufficient, efficient in everything that's intrinsically important to a woman. And I believe that women should be in their divine femininity and do everything that's intrinsically important for a man. When I'm calling out discrepancies and or fallacies, it don't matter if it's man or woman. I want us to coalesce in harmony and be fruitful. We can't do that if you guys only lean into content that is misogynistic or
which goes back to the gender war.
misandrous. You can't lead into either. I'm not here to say what's right or wrong or fair. I'm here to tell it like it is and give you a tried and true way of operating in order so you can get what you want. You know what I mean? But I'm calling men and women. So if the men don't like it, you ain't even the type of man I want to talk to, because you don't even want to correct yourself. I'm not here to bash women. I love women. Like, are you crazy? Like, that's why I got my shit together. I couldn't go to jail no more. Wasn't no women. I said, I can't be waking up to dudes every day. I need to change my life.
That's not funny.
Criminality wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. I love women. So even when I'm on y'all, I ain't on you. I'm just trying to fix your crown and give you information you should want so that you can apply. And when I do the same for men, they go ham on me, so they don't. But them ain't even the type of men I want to talk to.
Right.
You don't like accountability. I want the men that is trying to be righteous. Like, help me, give me the way.
Yeah.
So, which goes back to,
where do you have a gripe?
Oh crap! What is my?
If you don't, that's cool.
You could just tell us what
desensitization.
Yeah.
Decentralization.
Okay, so
all
right. So today's episode is the conversation that has been going around these days with women decentering men.
Okay.
Which goes back to your gripe with the, why
gender
wars and all that, which goes back to what you said as well.
But no, what is decentering men?
What does that mean?
Okay, so I decided to look it up because I didn't do a deep dive, but I have been hearing conversations, on TikTok. I've been having conversations with my friends about it. So the concept of decentering men it's in the concept of personal growth, feminism, and mental health. Means women are choosing to stop making men or male validation the central focus of their identity, self-worth, or life goals. It doesn't mean rejecting men altogether. It's about recentering themselves.
So why is it decentering men if it's recentering themselves? One has nothing to do with the other, in my opinion.
So based on my research, it says why it's happening.
Okay.
Reclaiming autonomy. For generations, women were socialized to see relationships, marriage, or male approval as the pinnacle of success. Now, many are prioritizing purpose, pleasure, peace, and personal development instead. The second one is emotional freedom. Constantly seeking or reacting to male attention can be draining. Decentering men creates space for deeper self-connection and healthier boundaries. Third one is collective healing. Women are unlearning codependency, pick-me behavior, and internalized misogyny often passed down generationally. And the last one is economic and cultural shifts. Women are more educated, financially independent, and empowered than ever. That shift naturally changes relational dynamics.
That was written by some type of misandrist. I could tell you that right now. A misandrist wrote that. Men and women were put here to coalesce in harmony together. The person who wrote that is trying to normalize men and women being separate. Because talking about your peace, your power, they're not mutually exclusive. You can have a man and have peace and power. But again, whoever wrote that, there's a small group of misandrists, which is a bunch of women that don't even fit the criteria.
Misogynist?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a small group of misandrists that are not even fit to be any man's first choice. disseminating information that is divisive and malignant in terms of male and female relationships. Now, those that echo that, it permeates women that do have a chance on having a successful relationship. It permeates their thoughts and has a pernicious effect. And they're getting, these misandrists are getting women to voluntarily amputate themselves from their romantic counterpart.
Which is insane.
Saying they don't need a man. I don't need a, now let me say this.
say
One could argue you don't need a man.
Sure.
But you don't need an arm either. But I wouldn't advise you to cut that off either. You can live without, I can live without a man. I'm sure you can live without a man. You can live without one of your legs, but I wouldn't advise you to cut that off. So what you just read there is misandry under the guise of we're taking our pride back.
No, it didn't say here that they're fully like rejecting men altogether, right? Like, okay, for example, like
I get the undertones though.
Yeah, and then like the societal stuff, right? So for example, it's like, okay, I always see these jokes where it's just like, oh, everybody's getting married, everyone's having kids. Meanwhile, I'm just here drunk every weekend looking for my phone. Like for us,
for my phone.
No, seriously,
that's not funny, but
no, but yeah, like, but it's just the whole thing about like at a certain age, like women are expected to be married or have kids, like the
that
societal stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I think that the whole decentering men conversation, my understanding of it is more so like, just because you're not married at a certain age, it doesn't make you less of a woman. Just because you don't have kids at a certain age, or just because you, whatever, it doesn't make you any less.
Yeah, of course.
It's still okay to prioritize yourself. And then there's also stories that I hear of like, I stand by this. Okay, one, let me get this out the way. The way men prioritize themselves first, you know, I've been in toxic relationships. I've been in relationships where I have been extremely selfless and the guy is selfish as shit and unapologetic when it comes to prioritizing himself, his wants, and whatever it is. I admire that. They should have a course in college for women to take for us to be able to put ourselves first, because us women were, I can't speak for all, but like for me, like, you know, I grew up in a household where it's just like my grandmother is taking care of everyone and then she puts herself last kind of thing. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of women have that habit because we're nurturers. We want to make sure everyone's straight.
100%.
Then we tend to put ourselves in the back burner. So I think that's the whole concept of it, where it's like, hey, ladies, it's okay to put yourself first. It's okay to do that because men do it unapologetically. And then I hear tragic stories of like men are cheating. The girl just gave birth and then, but he
or hasn't even gave birth yet.
Yeah, like stuff like that. I think it's a mixture of that too, right?
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that I don't like about that whole thing is the narrative behind it is, it's not like, hey, women, get your shit together, go to therapy or whatever, like do what you need to do to get your femininity back. It's decentering men. So it's not, y'all are acting like, not y'all, like I'm not a woman, but women act like it's men. It's like women make their choices or they make their fallout men's fault. And that's where I start getting like, well, wait, like we'll do anything to not take accountability. And none of that says like, you just need to make better choices, period. The man that you choose is like you chose him. Nobody else chose him.
Right.
And when he was doing red flags or doing things that you didn't like or that you thought you had to put up with, you made that choice. Yeah. So I think if anything, it needs to be women need to educate themselves. Educate? Why'd I say it like that?
Because my Filipino accent's rubbing off.
Educate your. Let me take that out. No,
no, it's okay.
They're not gonna come for me.
No,
but like I feel like women have one good choice to make, and that is choosing their partner. And that should go with a lot of rigor. That should go with a lot of vetting. That should go with a lot. Like, you can only love from a place that you love yourself. You can only pick from a place where you've picked yourself. Like, who you're dating, who's in front of you is literally a mirror. They're showing you yourself.
Well, most women are broken, especially after a relationship, no matter who broke up with who. Instead of, women don't go to therapy, they go on a date. Whatever relationship they in, now is a Band-Aid for women don't go to therapy, they go on dates.
That's not
And whatever their current relationship is just a Band-Aid for their previous relationship. Women use their current relationship to heal from the last relationship. They don't heal before they enter that relationship.
not true.
They're already hurting when they meet that person. Which is why they chose that person, from a place of I don't want to be alone, from a place of ignorance, from a place of they soothing me right now. And you don't have a lucid understanding of who you tethering yourself to. So the relationship usually crash and burn. Let me say this and I'll let you go.
Yeah, because I got a couple thoughts too.
But instead of going on a date, go to therapy and actually heal. And then you got women that say they do go to therapy. And men, I do go to therapy. And you need a refund. That therapy
Pick another one.
has turned you into a victim. Because it's not working.
Yeah, I hate that type
It's not working because you keep running into the same problems. You keep running into the same 3 type of men in the same body.
I want Jonah Hill's therapist.
Who's Jonah Hill?
Oh,
the actor?
The actor, yeah.
Oh.
There's a documentary on his therapist that he did. And
my therapist is
I guess he feels the same way about his therapist because
like,
his therapist is not the kind of therapist the standard therapy is like you.
Yeah, you sit there and talk,
and then you fucking take 2 to 3 fucking years for a breakthrough. His therapist, he gets to the nitty gritty of things, so then you kind of fix the shit.
His therapist is a Taurus.
Yeah. No, I don't know about that.
I'm joking. But
I was going to say, I'm going to find it and I'm going to tell you guys that. But I disagree. After a breakup, I hate the male species altogether.
Okay.
I can't. I don't want to go on a date. I don't want to do none of that. There was a time I was celibate for almost a year. I didn't want to talk to anybody.
That sounds crazy. Sorry. No judging.
You mean you was abstinent. Celibacy is done for religious purposes. So I'm sure you wouldn't do it so you was abstinent.
Okay, since we want to get technical, I wasn't going about it in a religious way. I just did not want to be bothered with people.
Abstinent.
Yeah, I did not want to be bothered. I didn't want to talk to anybody.
Well, of course, not everyone reacts the same way to a
breakup. I was going to say, because he was women go on dates. No, not me.
We're talking about the majority.
Yeah, I would think
over 50%.
Yeah,
we're talking about the majority.
Guys do the same
But I think
though.
the point is whether or not you're going on dates or sitting in a dark place, whatever it is, I think if you don't heal or understand that the choice got you there, then you're bound to make the same choice. Yeah. So I had someone who kind of came to me and was like, oh, this person is this, how did I end up here? Da, 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 da. And I'm like, well, the same person that chose the last person chose this person. You're literally, if you don't understand that your choices are making the difference. It's not the man that approaches you. It's not the person that approaches you that is the issue. It is your decision making when you're being approached. It's who you are when you're being approached. It's not, oh, this person is this or men are doing, we always want to say men are doing this or men are doing that. As a collective, they're doing this, but that's not who I'm dating. So obviously there's somebody, there's got to be some good out there. It's just, what would align you to that? What would make you a magnet to that? Because the universe is only going to show you what you're asking for. And by saying that all these men are this, or by saying men don't want to get married, or men don't want relationships, or men know how to do this and we don't, the universe is like, okay, cool, serve it up. I'm only showing you what you're asking for. The world is a mirror. Everything is a mirror to you. Everything is coming from your perspective. So whatever you're saying is what you're going to experience. Yeah. There's no alternative to that. So until you get into a position where you understand, I am making this choice. I am choosing this man. I am choosing this relationship. I am choosing this texture. Then why would it change? It doesn't change without you.
Well, male or female, you are the common denominator in every single one of your failed relationships.
Every single one.
So if you got to really ask yourself, how old am I? I've been dating since I was how old, and I have yet to have a successful relationship. And you got to ask yourself the hard questions. Why am I unable to pair bond? Why is my picker off? Why do I stay in relationships and continue the same toxic inertia that I desperately prayed my way out of? Because once you realize a relationship isn't for you, but you stay in that relationship no matter how arduous it is and toil with the other person, I don't care how the relationship ends, you're not a victim.
Yeah.
You're a volunteer.
Yeah.
You stayed.
Not a volunteer.
No, you're a volunteer. You stayed and participated. You're just as culpable as the person that perpetrated whatever nefarious emotional crime against you.
Yeah.
You're not a victim.
Yeah.
You're a volunteer.
Yeah.
You could have been left. So we got to start there.
Yeah, I knew that I was changing personally, and you can go like,
No.
but I knew like, and I don't know, I think we talked about this, but you could attest to this because you're obviously my best friend and I'll tell you everything, but I knew the moment that things started changing because I just started saying no to everything. Dates, all types of like, oh my God, there was this guy I liked so much. He was like, oh yeah, we knew it wasn't serious, but I knew I started to like him. Like I knew, I was like, I really like this guy. And he was like, oh, yeah, I'm dating, whatever. My ex kind of popped in the picture. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I get it. He's like, yeah, but nothing's really happening. I said, hey, you know what? Good luck with that. I realized that I really like you. And I would rather not. And that was the right decision. Like, oh, I'm going to pick, I've had guys, oh, I want to take you on a date. I'm like, I don't really know you. I don't really know why I would go out with you. I just knew, I started knowing when to cut off. I knew like, this is not going in a direction that I wanted to go in. And some were harder than others because some guys I really liked, some were easier. Like, oh, it was a date, I don't want to go. But like a handful of them I liked.
Yeah.
And I was just like, no, get out, no. I just was like, I can't. And that's when I knew, like, I'm making the decision. Like, I really just held myself accountable, like 100%. And that really changed things.
Yeah.
Well, it puts you in the driver's seat. Go ahead, Leah.
Yeah. Oh, no, I was going to say, because the thing with my research, it says it's not about hating men. It's about saying, I matter without needing to be chosen. Cultivating inner validation, self-trust, and joy outside of a relationship, holding space for aligned partnerships rather than centering life around one.
I still don't rock with it. It's still I still hear the
life
undertones.
is
That's teaching you to be okay
with being single for the rest of your life.
Because the person who wrote that is probably single and a misandrist and is unwanted and will never be any man's first choice. So again, they're using pernicious, clandestine language to permeate the thoughts of women who actually have a chance at pair bonding and getting them to amputate themselves romantically from their counterparts.
So you feel like this is like written in a like somewhat hurt kind of...
Yeah, because I believe women should still make themselves a priority, but that don't mean you have to deprioritize men.
Correct.
I'm a priority in my life, but I don't deprioritize my wife or my children.
Yeah.
Like, it ain't like, well, hey guys, family meeting.
Yeah. Right?
Next 6 months finna be rough for y'all.
Yeah, like
it's all about me.
I'm finna decenter y'all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think it's crazy.
I'll be upstairs still from time to time. You can come
if you want.
You know what I mean, if you want, I send you a few Vimos here and there.
Make sure that the electricity stay on.
Time for me to focus on me.
Right.
See the type of shit women come up with.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I can't decenter my family.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that I'm not putting myself as a priority too.
Right.
Again, self-care is supposed to be done day to day, mind, body, and soul. Yeah. And a lot of people use self-care as an emergency procedure. Now I want to go in a dark place. Yeah. Now I want to start working out. Now I want to start reading. Like, no, that's supposed to be a day-to-day practice in preparation for when you have to make a great lucid decision.
Yeah.
You've got to preemptively work those muscles. You get what I'm saying?
There's two things I want to ask you. First, the biggest issue I have with that whole thing is that it's decentering men. Why not decentering women? Why not decentering toxicity? Period. Like,
because I'm telling you, misandrist, I can clearly see
they were like,
it was written, in the guys.
Because why do you men have to be decentered?
Just because you're not getting chosen in your life. Yes, fine. But you're telling women, if you never develop the intangibles it takes to pair bond with a man, that's okay. And it is not okay. It is not. There is nothing honorable by being in the last quarter of your life and alone and lonely. Right. There's no honor in that.
I say, I've decentered men.
Because you decentered men 50 years ago. Now you're 70 years old with nothing to do with nobody. Mm-hmm. I believe it, but women won't even leave their dog alone. I don't leave my dog alone. So why you want to be alone? So you know that it ain't good to be alone because you won't even leave your pets alone for an elongated time period. So stop it. We need one another.
I agree.
It's the fact the women that is writing that, again, it's under there, it's in there, it's clandestinely.
Yeah. So
but the women that's doing that, are not fit to get the kind of men they want. So they're
let's-
just messing up women that are fit. They messing y'all up.
It's even further away from what it is. I was going to get to that 2 points because, like, first of all, let me be the first to say I want to be picked and chosen by a man because I think that is extremely important.
Right.
Like, why not? Like, argue with me in the comments. Like, why not? Why don't you want to get picked? That is dumb. If you apply for a credit card, do you want to get picked? If you apply for a job, do you want to get picked? If you go try to get a car, do you want to get picked? Like, I'm so confused. Like, you need to be picked. Okay? Like, I get from an emotional standpoint and a self-love standpoint, but like, I want to get picked.
But what about
Secondly,
mutually pick each other? Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, mutually picking each other is good. But like, 6, let's help them out. Okay? Because I have 2 questions for you. First of all, I am learning that when a man loves a woman, like when a man loves a woman, the texture of that relationship is so different. Like, I get that a woman needs to respect a man and love a man back and be a safe place and make a home. Like, but when a man loves a woman, I think that's different. I don't know. I could be wrong, but like, I've felt that. So I think what I'm trying to hinge to that is, why is it so important, in your opinion, for a man to love a woman? And why, when you say he is her first choice, like, why are those 2 things, like, where are women missing out on it? Because I feel like it doesn't come from a place where they understand men, because women are so trying to project what they want and changing men. And I feel like at its core, I could be biased, but like, there's nothing wrong with men. I think we're trying to change. There is nothing wrong with men. I think we're trying to change what men are about versus letting men be men. Because when I let a man be a man, I feel like I get the best from him. Like, I don't interject. I don't have no qualms. I don't say nothing. And I love it here.
Well, the problem is, and Leah, you can chime in. The problem is, a lot of women are aligning themselves with men that they do not want to lead them.
Okay.
Who they do not trust enough to just be compliant. Who they do not adore enough to be in alignment with whatever he feel is right, whether they feel is right or not. They'll argue with it.
Yeah.
So why would you choose a man who doesn't make you want to recline in that kind of trust? And that's where you're going wrong with a lot of people. You get what I'm saying? Let me ask you a question. Both of y'all. If you saw a guy you like, right? Aesthetically. He looked the way you want him to look. 6 foot tall. He make a lot of money. And on day 1, you meet this guy that you like. On day 1, he say, hey, look, I give you a better life. I promise, help you start a business, even get your body right. But immediately when we start dating, you got to exercise almost every day. I'm going to need you to cut off let me see who your friends is. You got to cut off the people who I tell you to cut off. You got to stop hanging out and going out so much. Soon as he meets you, he tell you that. Would you want to be with him?
No.
Would you want to be with him?
I don't think so.
Which is crazy. That's a deeply rooted disdain for male leadership. Listen to this. When y'all go after a breakup, what do? You start cutting off friends. I'm going to self-develop. I'm going to work out. I'm going to cut people off. I'm going to stop hanging out over here. This man can come in your life and tell you to do all that, and you like, nah, I wouldn't even deal. But when you're trying to level up and self-develop, those are all the things you do anyway. But you just said if a man came right in and gave you that infrastructure.
I didn't mind.
Wait, listen. He gave you that infrastructure, said, I give you the life you want. Said you will have your business. Said you will have your body. Both of y'all was like, nah. But again, this is exactly the things y'all do when y'all are self-developing after a relationship. So why is it that a man coming in on day 1 with the same provision telling you to do the things that you say you do anyway when you self-develop? So you know they're the right things to do. You know that's the right thing to do because that's what you do. So
I just felt like I don't know him. It's
that's
day
what
1.
I meant. Yeah, because
if you would have said, day 1 sounds a little crazy. I don't know this man.
I also said that you like him.
Listen,
like or
was
love
cool with everything until you were like,
day 1.
You gotta cut your friends off. Because to me, it's like, just as much as like, okay, you're coming in here strong in a sense of, all right, I'm gonna fund your business. I didn't have a problem with every single aspect of that because it gave discipline. It gave, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I'm not mad
The
at that.
friends part, that's where I'm kind of shaky because it's like, how am I supposed to know that you're locked in and you're in here? And that's the deep rooted part. Everything else I was cool with, but you asked for a yes or no.
Yeah.
But if you want my, well, not
Explanation.
the explanation behind it, I was cool with everything except the friends part because I'm not sure if you are extremely locked in with me to that capacity. I'm going to drop these people that's been rocking with me for X amount of years for you.
Day
and then
one.
Day one. Then what happens if you and I don't work out? Thank you for the business. Thank you for thank you for the discipline that you taught me.
I ain't got no friends.
The same people you told me to cut off, I cut them off for you. Now you're gone out of my life. Those are my support system. Those are the people that's going to pick me back up when I'm down and out. So it's kind of like that's the part where I don't necessarily agree with, but everything else,
yeah,
I'm cool
I don't
with.
mind.
You have to cut off friends.
I have good friends.
Yeah, I have great friends.
I didn't say you didn't. I said you have to cut off friends. When you on your way to the top and you're self-developing, you audit the relationships.
So you mean the dead ends?
I don't care what adjective or synonym you use to describe that you have to cut off people out your circle. That's mandatory for self-development. Everybody needs to be audited and placed in an applicable lane because you don't want to be this person anymore. That's what self-development is about. I don't want to be this. I'm developing into something else. And when you develop into that next version of yourself, everybody is not fit to handle that version. So you can't take everybody with you. So there's always something or some people, family or acquaintances, that you have to detach yourself from, period.
Okay.
So saying that you told me I cut my friend, that's what you have to do anyway.
Got it.
You would have to do. These are all the things you have to do anyway to reach the next level. You tell me somebody that didn't do that, they on the same level they was in their 20s.
But I feel like that's gonna come with time. Though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like those people.
And recognition.
Like that's like those people
We're
that you're
not
trying.
protesting about time.
Okay.
I never said how much time it was or wasn't going to take. I said this was going to have to be done.
Got it.
I never said in 1 week. I said this was going to have to be done.
Yeah.
You came
and I feel
in
like
and
that was like
imagined that part.
Right. But I think that that's a natural progression of.
Right. Like
Yeah,
I
get
feel
that.
It's
Yeah.
gonna reveal itself
just-
within time.
Yeah, I get that part.
That alone, again, shows the mindset of a lot of women because, again, that is how you self-develop anyway. So a man coming in saying, look, I'm finna give you infrastructure, I'm finna give you provision and show you the way. A lot of women will just reject that. I like, yeah, he coming in too strong.
Some women don't want
I
you to
didn't
open
reject
their.
everything.
Some women don't even want you to open their door or order their food. Like there is, like,
Oh,
can
no,
we
I'm
even
helpless.
get to
And
that?
I would advise,
Yeah,
like,
I'm
that's
helpless.
any man,
Open my door.
I repel from any woman who impedes my manhood
Yeah, I don't like
because I don't want to shut it off when I'm around you.
that. Right.
Yeah.
Right? I just rather not be around. It got to flow. So I'm like, this person is encroaching my masculinity.
Yeah, we don't like that.
So I just repel from that person because it's easy to be like, well, if they don't want you to open the door, don't open the door. And then she don't. Nah, bro, because then practice make what? Perfect.
Yeah.
Now you losing what makes you you. Just get away from that person. So anybody in my orbit that I see like they're impeding my ability to grow in my masculinity and be righteous in my masculinity, I just stay away from them. I don't pause it while I'm around them. I gotta let it flow.
Yeah.
And I advise whether it's vice versa, men and women, to do that. You get what I'm saying? But you can put yourself first because women do stop. I will agree with one of the sentences or a part of what Leah read. Y'all do get in relationships and really stop taking care of yourself inside out. And I do agree that you should still be taken care of. You should still make yourself a priority.
Absolutely.
I think in order for a relationship to be beautiful, magnificent, and dynamic, both parties have to have their own separate life. And then they come back together and they have their life together. So I'll go home and tell my girl things about what's going on in my world. She'll tell me things about what's going on in her world. And then we'll discuss the modus operandi of our world. Yeah. It's dynamic, but when you blend it too hard, the relationship is not dynamic enough to withstand the time of jeopardy, to withstand jeopardy. You get what I'm saying?
But I think the undertone of all that is really about where you're at in your personal life and where you're at in your mental health. Because if you're using a relationship to kind of cover all that, to kind of glaze over what you need to be taken care of course the relationship isn't going to, really have a great texture. Because when I decided to be in a relationship, I picked someone I was willing to listen to. And if he tells me to do something, I do it. I don't question him. I don't ask no questions. I don't question him about a damn thing. If he asks for my opinion, I give it to him. But I purposely chose a man that I wanted to do that for. That was an intentional choice. Even submission is like one of the highest levels of respect because you're doing it from a place of knowing. It's not like, oh, I'm beating you into submission. It's I am choosing to submit to you because that's what I want to do. And I can be my feminine self and I can trust that it's going to work out and I can trust your decision making. I'm not worried about it. And I think a lot of times, like my feathers get ruffled when I hear a woman questioning a man. And that sounds terrible because it's not like, I just know what it does to a man's, I don't know, is it ego? Is it masculine? Like, I know what it kind of does. It disintegrates it. It's like, why?
When you're saying questioning, like, what does that entail?
Like, overly questioning, like, why are you doing that? Oh, it would be better if you do this. Da, 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 da. Like, me and Six were having a conversation, and I was like, my man commits an exit. We can end up in Mexico. I'm not telling him to turn around. Like, he can figure it out. Like, I'm not saying anything. The wrong movie, the wrong channel. Like, he'll come to me and be like, oh, babe, did you know?
Your face say everything. Her face, her voice don't say it, but her face say everything.
I'm not telling you.
She was trying to hold it in bad. She was...
Because she was like, we can miss an exit. Like, no.
I'm not saying nothing.
I'm not about to be an accomplice to us being lost. If I can contribute to us getting the fuck back where we need to be, I'm going to be like,
but
all
do
right,
you know
babe,
why? Let me tell you, do you know why? Because
that's amazing. I need that level
because
of
that's
trust.
where a man learns from.
Yeah.
His neuroplasticity has to get working, not my voice in his head.
It ain't about the voice. I'm talking about we're gonna go with the getting lost and you got off the wrong exit.
She's cultivating long-term results. You talking about right now getting from
I do not care.
B, but
he could give me something I don't like.
Okay.
Of manhood.
I will eat it. If he gives me something I don't like to drink, I will drink it. Not like that.
I don't know about that.
Not like that. I don't mean like it's boo-boo.
You over there in the coat.
If he give me the drink, I drink it. If he tell me to jump, I pause it in the air.
I made it sound a little too extra, but my point is,
Coty, Leah, know they coming for you. She like,
I'm not making it sound
when
very
you tell
good.
me to tattoo my face,
I'm gonna do it.
I say, what color ink?
You know what? It didn't come out
that's how
right.
much-
I was happy.
That's how much she found her leader, which is amazing.
like we get
I'm
it,
just
amplified,
saying,
but I'm saying
like, it did come off
I was
a little,
rocking with you for a few.
When I
Until
say,
you give me a food I don't like.
Here's the thing. Let me say it like this.
Foods for the dog, I eat it.
If he gives me a drink, it could be Kool-Aid.
I don't know what it is.
Kool-Aid.
I'm gonna
blink
drink
twice if
it.
no, it wasn't.
help,
it was more like
Even when he put me in a
just
closet.
go like this if you need help. Wave at me.
Like that, it crept over there. Like
It did.
I know him.
Yeah.
He's not like that.
Yeah.
But it crept in
It
that
did.
area.
Let me just. I wish
where
we
it
could
sounded
take
like
that
you needed
back.
help.
I wish I could take that back.
It's okay because we're gonna have
You
fun
could just go
clipping
like
that.
this. Just go like this.
Yeah,
if you need
because it
help.
sounded like it was just escalating.
Blink twice. Come on.
It was
I'm
Even
just
when
kidding.
he makes me sleep outside, I just
with
do.
no
like,
blankets.
it just escalated.
No, but it just shows that she did find
as you
a
should.
leader.
I think
and
a woman.
this is a good, like, you trust him
I do.
wholeheartedly, which
Yeah.
is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I do.
but
And
you should choose a man.
I think
you
that's so
trust
important.
Wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
I'll say
We
this
didn't
before we
finish my
button it up. Go ahead.
no, you didn't ever get to like why is it so important for a woman to be a man's first choice, and how can a woman know
Well,
that?
uh,
And
When you a man's first of all, a lot of women, unfortunately, and I'm not saying this to be shady, has never been a man's first choice, so they don't even know what it feels like. They have nothing to compare it to.
mhm,
Like all their experiences have been less than.
mhm.
But when you a man's first choice, the texture and what he's willing to do and how well he's willing to behave shows up
Mhm.
and makes itself seen and a resident permanently throughout the whole relationship on day one. You see what his decorum is on day one because you are his first choice. I really want her. I want her. Not like this is something to do when there's nothing to do. Furthermore, a relationship between a man and a woman, the love dynamics got to be where he loves her more than she loves him, but she respects him probably more than he respects her. I know that sounds crazy and it's conundrum and it's cryptic, but when a man loves you, that becomes his inner voice of what's right and what's wrong and what's going to keep him in alignment. When a woman has a high respect for a man, she not even going to do things that are surreptitiously malignant to get back at him because her level of respect is too high. She's not going to talk to him in a certain tonality because her level of respect is too high. I love her. I'm not going to embarrass her. I love her. I'm not going to make her suffer because I'm mad. I'm going to still pay the rent. I'm going to still pay the mortgage. The love he has to have for her is his guidelines. That is his blueprint. And it will be sown all through the modus operandi of y'all relationship. So make sure he loves you because he's looking to put you first because you are his first choice. And make sure she respects you, have a high level of respect. She's not flirting with a bunch of dudes when she get mad. She's not running and going on a date because you ain't pick your phone up. She's not talking to you crazy. She's not inherently critical of everything you do. She has a high level of respect. When a relationship reflects those dynamics, it is generally in harmony. It is generally abundant and cloaked with levity and joy.
Yeah, I love that. Real quick, we got a couple more minutes. I wanted to ask y'all because it just popped up in my head. I came across a reel where a man was divorced, but he still took care of his ex, and his ex still
I know what
had
you're talking about. It's on
access
Club
to the
Shay Shay?
finances. I don't think it was Club Shay Shay.
I think it was. It's the white dude,
It was
right?
either one of them in a new relationship?
No, not that
No,
I know of.
the wife is.
The ex-wife is?
Yeah, she's like
Wait,
moved on and she
what
still
happened?
has.
Oh, yeah. Go
so
ahead.
basically, she's talking about, it was on Club Shay Shay. So this man, Shannon Sharp was like, so your ex-wife still has access to your bank account. And he was like, yeah. And you trust that, like, they still have a joint account. And
But the ex-wife has a new man now?
Yes.
The ex-wife has a new man?
Yes. And
But
he's
the ex-husband still giving her money?
not giving her money, but they still have their joint, like their account
They
together.
have access.
So he's still putting money in that account?
Yes.
Yeah, he trusts her.
And he trusts her because he said she was
One
there.
of them confused.
No, listen.
One of them is confused.
Hold on. Let me land first, or let me land the story before you even say that. So they were basically in the trenches together. Like, she was with him when they couldn't even afford a place together. They were staying at their in-laws' house they can't even afford a hamburger together. And then boom, like they went up,
and
right?
they realized they were better as friends.
They became successful. They realized that they're better off as friends. Not once did she ever make him feel like she would just take his money kind of thing. He loves her so much that he supports whatever makes her happy. And that's why to this day, he said it on the podcast, like, I trust her. Shannon was like, wait, what if she just runs away with everything? And he's like, she's not going to do it. Because if she was going to do it, she would have been done it a long time ago. And that's why I support whatever makes her happy.
And he was like, and I'll just get it again.
And I still stand on what I said. One of them is a fool. Somebody in the wrong place. You want to know who I think in the wrong place? The new boyfriend of the ex-wife.
Yeah, I knew.
Because how you letting another man finance y'all lifestyle?
Maybe it's just a nest egg.
Don't care.
Yeah, do they have kids together?
Cannot.
I think they do have kids
Another
together.
man cannot finance my woman's lifestyle. If that's your ex when I'm with you
What
now,
if they have children?
I don't care. Then that's child support. That's different than say that.
Yeah.
But you have a joint account, I'm just putting money in there and you got access to it. So like I said, I stand on what I said when I first said what I said when I said it.
But I think the
One of them
point is, yeah, I think I brought it up because I think that's what like loyalty and support is. Like if a man is like, if he feels that for you.
Contextually, yeah. That's how we show our trust for you through our love. Our love is our vulnerability because men aren't so quick to love as women. Women love easy. they love fast. But if you a woman that love fast,
Mhm.
then don't love so easy.
Mhm.
If you a woman that love hard, like you love so hard that everything about this relationship consumes you, good or bad. When they having an off day, you having an off day. When y'all beefing, you can't sleep right. When y'all not talking, you can't eat right.
Mhm.
Those type of relationships. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was just super interesting. I was like, as a woman, like now, if you're the woman that's with that man, like let's say I'm the new girlfriend to him and I know he's giving money to his ex or has a like open account with the ex, what do you think her position should be?
Her position should be the same. Because it can only be one queen in the castle.
Mm-hmm.
We both can't be your queen.
Hmm.
We
Yeah,
both
like you
can't be
can't
your
have her
queen.
second guess her spot.
We both can't. And then, but that's what a love for her, that's why I said his love for her got to be abundant.
Hmm.
Because I love my new girl so much that no matter, I remember them promises I made? Well, yeah, I'm about to break them.
Hmm.
Because I'm with a woman I love way more than them promises I made.
Mm. That's to the ex-wife.
Yeah.
That's dicey because if something wrong with me, I wouldn't mind at all. I wouldn't feel slighted or I wouldn't feel jealous. I wouldn't feel, if I was the new girlfriend, I wouldn't care.
I would need the reassurance that like my position's not.
It ain't about you caring or not caring. It's about that he should not do it. If he love you the way he's supposed to love you, he's not going to do it.
What if they have a family though?
That's child support.
Okay.
Those are two different things.
Got it.
That's child support.
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't take care of your family. Like, please do.
I think they have kids together.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But that's child support.
Okay.
But
well, what if he's like, oh, I got to get them an apartment. I have to sign the lease because I got to get them somewhere to live.
That's child support.
Okay.
Where his kids gonna live?
Yeah.
Right.
That's child support.
Okay.
I believe. But co-mingling funds just so that you can have access for my funds at your leisure
is crazy.
It's crazy when I got a whole woman.
He didn't mention. I don't.
I don't. Yeah, I can't remember.
I don't know if he
but
mentioned if he has.
I think the
Well,
point
if
was like,
I'm your man, your ex cannot be co-mingling funds with you. That's just me.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna do that. And if I see that you like that, like you champion that, you okay with that, I'm gonna just lean away from you. I'm gonna exit the relationship. I'm not gonna convince you that you should not want to take his money. I'm gonna just because that's who you are.
Yeah, if you want to,
I'm gonna let you be who you are.
Yeah,
but
and I'm gonna be who I am.
Yeah, because if you my woman, we gonna figure it out.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't care if we eating steak or we eat noodles. We gonna eat it together. We gonna figure it out. We'll be all right.
Yeah,
because we got love. You know what I'm saying? So, don't decenter men.
Yeah,
recenter yourself.
Hey.
Don't decenter your romantic counterpart. Recenter your priority with your health, your priority with your emotions, your me time. They're not mutually exclusive. You could do both, right? So
agreed.
I think we'll do some more research, get some more videos. Leah be coming with the fire flames. Leah come with some more stuff and we can have a deeper delve into this on the next episode. Thank you for tuning in. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, are we on Apple?
We
keep getting asked. Somebody said they cannot find us on Apple. By the time this drop, we'll be on Apple.
We should be, yeah.
We'll be on Apple by the time this drop.
Yeah.
Thank you. As always, this is a dummy-free zone, so don't get over here saying no stupid shit. We out.
Boy, I sure hope the dummies aren't listening.